Colorado Springs going downhill? It seems like every time I post a video about the pros and cons of living in Colorado Springs, I get a lot of comments about all the horrible things about Colorado Springs. So in today's video, we're going to be addressing those things, why people think that Colorado Springs is going downhill, and answering the question of whether Colorado Springs is still a great place to live and if it will continue to be a desirable place to live in the future. One of the main reasons why people say Colorado Springs is going downhill is because of the homelessness. Colorado Springs has experienced a steady growth of homelessness since 2011. I've personally seen so many homeless out in the streets and in public, and downtown Colorado Springs has it the worst, and it's something that I've still not gotten used to. It's truly heartbreaking to see, and I've met several of them, and their stories are sad and not usually what you'd expect. Yes, there are a lot of people that have health problems, mental illness issues, but one guy I met used to make really good money as a trucker, but then he got sick, he got diabetes, and he lost one of his legs, so he couldn't drive anymore. He tried to get a job at different places, but he didn't get hired because of his lack of experience, according to him, and he also felt a little discriminated against because he didn't have his other leg. His name is Maiku, and we had a really good conversation. He was sitting outside drawing pictures, and he dreamt of becoming an artist instead. He was so excited to tell his story and super grateful that I actually stopped to chat with him for a little bit. But according to this article by Rocky Mountain PBS, there's a 10% reduction in those experiencing homelessness. Now, the numbers have yet to be released for 2024, but just for a little bit of perspective, the survey happens every year in January. Once that updates, I can give more information and be more current about that, but it was found that 1,302 people are experiencing homelessness in Colorado Springs, with 374 living on the streets. Now, that number is the lowest that the city has recorded since 2016. And in this article, it goes on to read that the mayor is saying that his efforts are paying off, so whatever he is doing is helping, but there's still a lot of work, and there are communities that are being built to help house more people and more families more affordably. Now, before we get into the second reason why people are saying that Colorado Springs is going downhill, my name is Iris, and I'm always posting videos about Colorado Springs and surrounding areas, pretty much southern Colorado. If that is something that you are interested in, make sure that you are subscribed. And I do sell real estate here, so if you ever need help buying or selling real estate, there's a link in the description below to set up a Zoom call, or you can call or text me, whatever you're most comfortable with. Now, the next reason is the constant construction. Who wants to live in a city with ugly orange cones everywhere? Now, I get that there's a lot of work that needs to be done to make our city beautiful, but sometimes it feels like it's just ongoing all the time, and some of these projects last years and years, so it gets to be kind of wearing on you to just see these big old giant construction equipment everywhere. And there are business owners who are having a hard time, and they have to work twice as hard to stay in business because of the traffic, because you have people like me who will avoid that area at all costs because it's just crazy to navigate around. There's a restaurant on the south end of town. For example, it's called Felipe's, and it's this really good taco burger joint, and I love it. They have the best banana splits. Honestly, I'm like completely addicted, but they're so good. And because of our community, we were able to rally together, let everybody know that they are open, that you can still go down there, and even though the traffic is affecting his business, that we should all still go down there and eat lunch, eat burgers or whatever. But not everybody is getting the word out in that way, so that they can make sure that people know that they're open to still come out and support the business. That way they can stay in business and we can support our local restaurants here. But the construction down there is crazy. It's terrible. It's really not super easy to get to his location. So anyway, he's got the best taco burgers and banana splits. So make sure that you check out that restaurant, Felipe's. But it just makes traffic time longer. We've got more accidents, and getting to where you need to go in a timely fashion is a lot more difficult. However, if you compare our city to a lot of the other cities, it's really not that bad, because if you go to like Denver, it's way worse. It's probably like 10 times worse maybe. maybe not. But it seems like every time you go to Denver, there's always a ton of traffic and there's always a ton of construction, making the traffic a lot more dangerous and less desirable to drive through, which could make people think that Colorado Springs is going downhill, even though we are trying to make things better. Now, that traffic on Academy, apparently, as they were doing whatever they were doing, they saw that there were other things that needed to be done. Some stuff was corroding underneath. So that's why that project is taking a lot longer, and you'll probably see that at least for the next year. The next reason people are saying that the Springs is going downhill is because they think we're headed towards becoming the next Denver or the next California. I think we all know what that means when people say that they don't want Colorado Springs to become this way. I don't see it becoming that way. As far as riots and things like that, we really don't have that going on here. Now, there was one situation where a fight broke out, and you can look this up online, but there was a protest outside of the Colorado Springs Police Department that escalated. There were some people through and were being ridiculous while they were trying to support a family member that had passed away. So that's the only situation that I can think of. I'm sure if you go on the news or Google it, you can find more, but it's not like, we're not in the capital, we're not in Denver, so people aren't coming to the Springs as much as they would Denver to protest these kinds of things. The capital is in Denver, so it makes sense that they would go there. I honestly don't see that becoming an issue, but I do get a lot of questions about people saying, well, is Colorado Springs headed towards this way? Are we going to have looting? Are we going to have rioting? Are people going to be burning flags? And no, we're a military town. There's a pride and a respectfulness that comes with that. And I feel like we have a community here, and most people respect each other. And so I'm very proud to say that that is not a concern for me at this time. I hear about it all the time, right? I get calls from you guys asking me questions about, is this a California 2.0 or California V2? And I just don't see that. We do have a lot of people coming from California, but I don't see that being the case. Everyone that I've met has been really friendly. People haven't been causing problems as much as one might make it seem to be, if that makes sense. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, Colorado Springs is definitely changing for sure, but it's not going downhill. Definitely not going downhill. But with growth comes a lot of different challenges and a rush to build new systems, fix old systems that weren't working anymore, deal with old failing systems, and tackle new challenges as they arise. But we are experiencing that. We are taking in some of the negative that comes with a growing city. More people, more problems, more crime, things like that. But it's also a place where there's a lot more opportunity. And with this growth comes a lot of new opportunities for all of us. We've got a very strong system here. Our market is pretty strong. We have a lot of tourists, and then the military bases, and some really great restaurants coming out to the area. So the video that's popping up next on the screen is going to go over why people love Colorado Springs and continue to move here regardless of the rumors that are going on here in our area. So make sure you watch that. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.